Hi, welcome to Art You Crazy, the podcast that flips the script on the struggling artist paradigm.
We're your hosts, Tessie
and Erin Elizabeth Reed.
Two artistic multi-hyphenates who believe that every person is creative.
And every creative should pursue their passions. Each episode,
we shine a light on our and others' creative journeys along the pathway to personal success.
If living a life of creative purpose sounds daring, then yeah, you could call us crazy.
We embrace it.
And we want to know, aren't you crazy too? No, seriously.
'Cause we are.
Rolling, 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 rolling.
Rolling on out, rolling on out.
Hello!
Welcome to
Aren't You Crazy? In this episode, we travel back in time for a down and dirty episode on
resource of time.
Yeah, and how precious and finite it is, and what that means to choosing how you spend it. I'll dive in because I've been wrestling a lot lately with overextending myself, wanting to do so many things, wanting to say yes to everything, and then realizing that there's absolutely no way I'm going to be able to get all of this done with quality the way I would like to show up in the world. I have to say no to things. Some things are just not going to make the cut. It's tough. But so in kind of coming to that very practical realization, I started to wonder, why am I prioritizing other people's needs and projects over my own?
Oof.
When did other people's needs of my time outweigh my own needs for my time? Oh gosh, that's really deep.
I have this fear that if I don't overbook myself or bring all of these different projects to my life, I will get bored, or I will have a fear of missing out, or that I'm maybe not pushing myself, or I'm too passive, or I'm not fully committed to my goals. But at the same time, I'm starting, or I want to understand what it takes to make that shift to quality over quantity.
Mm-hmm.
What it is that I really, really want to do, me.
Yes.
And with who.
Yes. Some of it for me is this hidden belief that other people's, let's just talk in the realm of creative projects, other people's projects somehow legitimize me. If I'm on board with them, then it legitimizes me. And so I need to rack up as many of those projects as possible versus my creative ideas are just as valid. Why can't I legitimize me and make sure that I'm devoting as much time to my own creative work first, and then deciding how much time I have left to help and devote to other projects that do sound intriguing and align with me?
It all ties together to what we were talking about in the episode with money and beliefs, right? The beliefs that if we don't work for money, or if we don't do this, then we might not be able to complete our financial necessities or stuff like that. And at the same time, we're neglecting the creative side and our own ideas that might lead us to that financial success, but we keep on blocking it. I feel like it's just not one for the other, but I think that it's a matter of planning, of really having a goal, because then you can grab a job for 6 months, and with that money, I'm going to repurpose it to this particular creative ambition that I have. And the problem is that I haven't been doing that. Refocusing my intention of why the hell am I making money on the side if I never have time to do what I want to do, that it's create.
Oh gosh, yeah.
But I think that the fact that we're having this conversation started something in us. They say that the first step is being aware, right?
I don't want to speak in binaries, but I feel like there are people who are very good about making sure that their own needs, goals, and agendas get met first. And I guess I'm just, because of whatever my childhood traumas are, I wasn't wired that way. I was wired to make sure that I looked out for other people first. And so what I needed or wanted, could sit on the back burner forever if that's what was required. So learning to undo that for myself is coming into more and more focus for me over the last several years. And right now it's just bubbling up again to the surface with this concept of time being finite, limited and precious, not just on a day-to-day basis, but the rest of my life. Potentially, I'm at the halfway point of my life. How I choose to devote my little tokens of time, if you will. If I don't spend those tokens of time on my own dreams, then those dreams will not happen.
Or nobody else would really make them happen for you. There are people that really want your success. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, I'm not talking about doing things single-handedly and not needing help.
Yeah.
I'm saying even the act of reaching out for help, I have to be the first one to do it.
Yeah. You have to take the first step. And you talk about so many layers that I so resonate with, almost erasing oneself to meet other people's needs before our own. And I do think that that's from a very old wound. And I have it too, of not having your needs met. The attention that we needed or the growth that needed to be sparked in order for us to be maybe more ahead in the game and with less doubts or with less fear.
Yeah. Something you brought up, so a friend of mine is moving out of the city and she was talking about this long-held desire to quit her job and how she'd been hanging on to this job mostly out of fear of not being able to pay her bills, but just how miserable she was in the job. Going so far as to say that when the pandemic shutdown happened, she was actually relieved because it allowed her not to have to go into this job. Anyway, so she had been coming around to a greater sense of readiness to take the leap to actually quit the job, even though she doesn't have anything else lined up per se at this moment. But just the sense of clarity and well-being that comes with being ready to actually make the decision to act. And I was thinking about it as I used to be a lifeguard in high school for a couple of years. And so I would teach little kids how to swim. And some kids are ready to just jump and go for it. And others cling and wait. They hang on to the side of the pool for a long time, even though they've got floaties on. And so I think knowing that you're going to be safe to dive in. The universe has you. You got your invisible arm floaties on,
Yeah. The question is, what is holding you back? But I do think that you mentioned something really important and relevant, having clarity to make a decision. It doesn't matter what comes next. I'm ready for it.
Choosing which path to take is hard, but once you've made the decision, the action is easy. Choosing to jump into the pool can be agony, and who knows how long it's going to take you. But once you do decide, jump naturally follows.
We don't have the answers, but it's so beautiful to talk about it. And the more I talk to you, the less alone I feel.
I was just thinking that. I was like, it's so refreshing to say things that I feel a little nervous about revealing. And then you say, I have that same thought or feeling too. We're all in this together. Thanks for this one.
Bye. Keep on dreaming.
Hey, I'm sure you loved this episode. Before you go, here are 3 ways you can help us keep things crazy.
You could just leave us a rating or share this episode so more people can access this content. Easy peasy, right?
Feeling ultra crazy?
Donate to the show by clicking the link provided in the podcast description or on our Instagram's bio.
I'm sure you will.
Stay crazy out there, y'all.
Stay crazy!